Welcome to Global Vision. I'm extremely excited because we have here Bob Rauch, and he's going to talk to us about the hotel industry. And I think that these current times, we're all very curious to know what's happening in this industry. So that's why we're very happy to welcome you here in Global Vision.
Well, thank you, Bisila. It's my pleasure to be here. And whatever you want to talk about, I'm happy to do that.
Thank you.
Prefiero inglés, pero...
At least you try. We love that. You at least try your Spanish. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So the first question is, who is Bob Rauch? I mean, tell us a little bit about your background. How did you get in the hotel industry?
Okay. Well, I mean, who is me is easy because I'm basically a husband, a father, a hotelier, an educator, and an athlete. That's who I am. And how I got in it is actually an interesting story because my Spanish is what got me in. So I applied for a job as a banquet dishwasher when I was in college. And they said I was overqualified and they were not going to hire me. I said, overqualified? I said, I just want to work. And I said, I do speak Spanish. And they said, really? I said, yes. And they said, okay, you're hired.
Wow.
And so that was 47 years ago. And I've been working in the industry since then. So
wonderful.
That's how I got started.
And what makes you a good hotelier?
Well, a good hotelier, differentiating from a great hotelier, is fairly simple. If you have a service mindset, you like customer service, you communicate well, and you have some basic leadership skills, you can be a good hotelier. However, to be a great hotelier today, because the industry has changed so much from not just an art, now it's an art and a science, you have to understand things like law, human resource law in particular, digital marketing, engineering, and that makes it a lot more complex.
Indeed. And what RAR Hospitality does, RAR Hospitality?
Well, RAR Hospitality started as just me. I left a firm called Deloitte. I was managing hotels and Deloitte recruited me to manage their hospitality consulting practice. And it was great. I ended up going to London and working abroad representing Deloitte, but then I wanted my own firm. So I started my consulting practice, just party of one. And one day I was offered an opportunity because my wife said, why are you making so much money for other people? I had an opportunity to buy this little motel. And I raised some capital and I started running the hotel myself. It was small, 52 rooms along the beach in Southern California. And we did well with it. We sold it at a profit and I bought some land and built 2 Hilton hotels. One of the Hilton hotels I'm actually sitting in right now. So we branched out beyond that and started managing hotels for other people. And I built up RAR into a management company that right before this terrible virus a year ago, February 21st, 2020, I sold RAR Hospitality, the management company. So I just kept the hotels that we own and manage now.
Okay. And what about the Hotel Guru?
Well, Hotel Guru is interesting. I've been writing a newsletter for my clients since 1978.
Wow.
1978.
Genial.
Muchos
Muy
años
bien.
pasado. Okay. So at that time, I enjoyed writing a monthly newsletter. And when the internet came to fruition, I decided to post it online. And my wife came up with the name Hotel Guru. So we've had that website since 1997. I've been doing an online column. I write about 2 articles a month. One I post on Hotel Guru and another I write for a company called Hotel News Now.
Wow. How was the industry before 2020? We will speak about 2020 later, but how was the outlook in the United States of the industry before?
Well, no, it's a great question, Bisila, because it was good. The industry was solid, but we we had to be looking at a recession eventually. Recessions are cyclical. This is my sixth one. I knew it was coming. I expected it in 2021. I expected to have a strong year in 2020 because all the economic fundamentals were very, very sound. It was just time for a recession. And it was slowing down. But this was a massive hit. So we went from very strong to beyond weak.
Mm. And what was for you exactly the effects of COVID-19 in your business, how it hurt your business?
Well, it was devastating financially because we have a mortgage, and the mortgage is called a CMBS loan, a commercial mortgage-backed security. And those loans are typically not forgivable under any circumstances other than you are willing to make major sacrifices. And rather than get into details, because there are so many different things your lender can negotiate with you, they're not very negotiable because they sell those loans off to bondholders. So we have suffered financially. We're going to come back. We've suffered, though, the worst is the job losses, because I had over 100 employees and I have less than half that now. And bringing those employees back, we have what's called PPP loans that the government provides that are forgivable. So they're no-cost loans, but those help you with payroll. They don't really help with the operating expenses. So until the government here in California, we have the People's Republic of California. For those who are conservative, they'd appreciate that joke, but it's a very, very anti-activity type of environment here. We can't do anything. So everything's pretty much shut down. Not that that's improving COVID, of course, but it's been very bad.
I can imagine. And what lessons really COVID taught you?
The most interesting lesson for me is that Airbnb, which is of course worldwide, has attacked the hotel industry, not necessarily intentionally, although I think it was, but they have a better product in the mind of the customer who wants to travel but doesn't want to get COVID, and figures if they're living alone in a house somewhere in the middle of nowhere, that's better than being in a hotel somewhere in the middle of activity. So I have learned that in tough times, people want to get away from it all, and they will go to, in their minds, what's the best product, which Airbnb has done a great job. And of course, they went public and have spent $1 gazillion. I don't know how to pronounce gazillion, say gazillion in Espanol.
Yeah.
You don't say muchas cosas, but I certainly don't know how to say gazillion in Spanish. But a lot of money they spent. Yeah. And so people like Airbnb. So the biggest lesson was we need to compete with Airbnb.
And what do you foresee for 2021?
Well, I foresee a very strong recovery, although I don't think we'll get back to 2019 anytime soon. I think it'll be another few years because all the group business has completely disappeared. All corporate business has disappeared. And all we have now is what I call pent-up leisure demand, people who just want to travel. And that is starting to come back very strongly right now, relative to how it was just a month ago.
Mm-hmm. And what is the trends that you see happening in the tourism industry and hospitality in the next 10, 15 years?
Well,
just to conclude.
It's interesting. I assume you didn't ask me this question because I put out a column, the top 10 trends.
I read the column. That's why I asked.
Okay, well, there are some things that I think are going to stick, some trends. One is sanitization. So when we clean hotel rooms now, we add a second level of cleaning because of COVID. We sanitize the rooms after we clean them. So we have an inspector or inspectress who comes in and uses Lysol products at our Hilton hotels and an electromagnetic sprayer at our Marriott hotels. But the point is, we do a double cleaning, which creates a level of sanitization. I think that will stick. Another thing is sustainability. People all over the world want a sustainable product. They don't want to see you throwing garbage away and not recycling for the basic level of that. But those are two trends that I definitely see. Beyond that, two things, maybe outdoors. People, even if the climate is not ideal, being outdoors, even if it requires a lot of space heaters, people want fresh air.
Mhm.
And beyond that, I mean, I think I probably have, I don't know if I have contactless.
Mm.
That's the best thing that came out of this, because I'm one of those who likes to wash my hands or use gel all the time. As soon as I touch something, I don't. And now with COVID, I'm extra, I keep it in my pocket. I always have a bottle of this, handy hand sanitizer. So I think that we have now contactless menus where you use QR codes on your phone and the menu pops up on your phone. So you don't
Mhm.
have to touch anything. All of the check-in and check-out at hotels now is completely contactless. That trend will stay with us.
Wonderful. I mean, I'm very, very happy that we had the opportunity to just speak with you. And I think that besides the challenges, I feel in you this degree of optimism and positivism, and I love that. So I hope that we could travel soon and visit your hotel.
Well, I thank you. And something I noticed in your signature, because if you notice in my signature, I say, be gracious to all. But I wrote down a note that you said, use your smile to change the world. So I brought you my smile because of COVID.
Oh, I need one of those. I love
I
it.
might be able to get you one. These
I,
I'm on the board of the San Diego Tourism Authority, and each board member has a little smiley face mask.
I would love to have that because I do believe that the power of a smile, it's really amazing. And if we don't smile, then the life don't smiles you back. So,
Okay, fair
so
deal.
thank you so much, Bob. It was a pleasure. And thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you.
Okay, well, gracias y me gusta esta conversación.
Hasta muy pronto.
Okay, hasta luego.